Hi, welcome back to Rannick Physiotherapy. Today I want to ask the question, who's the governor? The answer is not a wrestling star. The answer is, who's in charge or what's in charge of you? The governor is the part of the brain that controls everything that you do. The way you act, the way you use your body, the way you think, everything about you is controlled by the governor. Now, is this the unconscious brain? The unconscious brain is the emotional part. It's the basic part of your brain. It's the primal reptilian part of your brain. It's the bit that develops first when you're younger. It's the bit that develops all the way up to about 7 years old. Every emotional response you ever have for the rest of your life is determined by what happens to you before the age of 7. Is it the chimp? Read Steve Peters. Is it the pain body? Eckhart Tolle. Pain body is made up of every negative thing that's ever happened to you. If you had a very traumatic childhood, generally you have a very strong pain body. And this means that you react in a negative, over-emotional, aggressive, angry, sad, frustrated way to almost everything that happens to you. We all know somebody who is like this in our lives probably. This is unconscious completely. People who act like this have no control over this at all, no awareness, and they'll continue to act like this until they become aware. So, does the unconscious brain control you? Does it determine your daily habits? Does it stop you getting out of bed in the morning? Does it stop you doing the work you need to be doing? Does it stop you going and doing the workout you need to do in the gym? Does it stop you pushing yourself hard enough in life to achieve what you really want to do? Does it stop you in relationships with anybody? Family, partner, friends, children, anybody. This can control all of this. On the other side of that coin we have consciousness, or awareness. Some people call it self-awareness. This is the adult part of your brain. This is the bit that develops later on in life, after the emotional part is developed. It allows us to make logical decisions. It allows us to think things through and come up with an appropriate solution. You have to have this part of the brain strongly developed to control this part of the brain. Now, this is a fantastic bit of the brain in many ways. It allows us to carry out thousands of activities without thinking. It controls your posture. It controls what you think, how you hear, what you smell. It controls you driving the car. Many things that you do without even thinking about it. But it shouldn't control how you think. This is where this part of the brain comes in. So any situation you're in, this part of the brain, the unconscious, is going to jump in really quickly and it's going to react. You have to develop the ability for your consciousness to see what's happening and decide, is that an appropriate response? Do I want to act this way? If not, change the behaviour. And the secret is to see. To see this part of the brain and what's happening. To see the emotional response. To see the jump in quickly and stop it. And act differently. So if you're not happy with the way you are, you just have to look at what you're doing, how you're reacting, and how you can change that. And what comes in there is choice. We all have choice. We can choose to act like this. We can choose to think with this part of the brain and have some control of this part. So you can choose to get out of bed quickly in the morning with a happy feeling. You can choose to go to the gym or not. You can choose to get to work on time or not. You can choose to be present in a relationship or not. You can choose to be the best possible person you can be or not. Everything's choice. Chris Evans this morning on the radio was interviewing an American psychologist who said he has a 90-second routine first thing in the morning. The second he wakes up, the minute the alarm goes off, he doesn't jump up and look at his phone, as most people probably do these days because phone is such a big part of our life. He has a 90-second routine. First thing he does is he takes a big long breath, about 12 seconds, and that centres him back into his body. It makes him not think about his phone and what's going on. He's present. He then has a conscious thought, a grateful thought about something that went on the day before, the week before, something he's happy about, something he's grateful for. That wires the brain for gratefulness. He then has an intention thought. He intends for something to happen in that day. He intends a certain behaviour, a certain action, a certain something that's going to mean his day is set in this direction. So he gets out with a breath, centres, he has a grateful thought that makes him grateful for what's going on before, or something that's going to happen, and he is set up with an intention for the day. He gets up and he's ready to go. It's a really quick, easy routine that anybody can do. As a matter of fact, Chris Evans' breakfast show is really worth listening to. for all sorts of reasons, but the fact is it helps us to start the day with intention and self-awareness. So, are you unconscious or are you conscious? It's entirely up to you. Thank you.